I've got no idea where I've got cats on my brain today. Anyway, welcome to the Jaden Show. Happy Sunday, you lovely people. I have a perfect show for you today. I'm going all the way to Canada, to meet pop soul fusion artist leMeow. You're going to meet her in just a few minutes' time. I hope you've had a wonderful week. Please let me know how you're doing. You've got all the space for your comments and your chattiness underneath this video. So please say hello. We'd love to see how you're doing and how your week has been. So before I go and introduce you to this wonderful lady, we are going to listen to one of her songs. This is called York Street. But I don't think she's from York. This is called York Street. This is leMeow.
Said it's time to go. I got busted. It was a Sunday night. I got busted. I didn't start no fight. I got busted. Something just ain't right. I got busted down on York Street on Sunday night. You can blame it on the stars. You can blame it on Mars. You can
What an amazing tune. I bet you can't wait to meet leMeow. Let's go and meet her now. leMeow, this week's very special guest. leMeow, welcome to the Jaden Show. How are you, lovely lady?
Thank you so much. I am doing great, and I'm excited to be talking with you today.
Well, it's bloody amazing. Bloody amazing. Now, I've got to ask you, because, you know, leMeow, not your regular name, quite frankly. How
It's
did that start? How did that, and why?
Well, it originally, this project or that stage name came about in partnership with someone else.
Mhm.
And so there were a couple of drinks involved when we were deciding on the name. And we sort of threw it out as kind of a joke at first, but I ended up really liking it. And I just felt like it was kind of a good fit for me because I'm a cat lover and I just sort of like that leMeow kind of vibe that it gives. So it just kind of stuck over the years, and now it's evolved into a solo project of
Fantastic.
just myself, and I've kind of run with it and made it my stage name.
How many cats you got?
I've got three cats, three
Wow.
beautiful
Cool. Will
cats.
any of them make an appearance throughout this interview, do you think?
It is possible. There
That's
was
cool.
one who was trying to get into the camera view not too long ago. I think he's gone. He's taking a nap now, but you never know. One might make an
Once the
appearance.
camera's on, darling, that's what happens. Yeah.
It's so
There has
true.
been many a cat bum facing me while I've been talking to stars. It seems to
It
be a
does make
regular.
things more interesting.
So how did it all start for you? How did it start for leMeow back in the day when you were kind of, at home after school? Were you listening to music? Were you dancing around? Were you doing ballet? How did it all kind of start?
I've always just been a lover of music. So I think my interest started because my parents and my sisters had this amazing vinyl collection
Okay.
that I had access to when I was a little kid. So I used to just spend hours picking through their records and just sitting on the floor and just sort of absorbing all the amazing music of the 50s, 60s, and 70s. And so I think that's kind of what inspired me from an early age.
And
And
what
then
kind of
from
music
there,
was that? What were you picking through at the time?
uh, like everything. So from like Diana Ross to Patsy Cline was a big one that I used to listen to. Um, James Brown, the Jackson Five, like
Really?
I would say a lot of soul kind of R&B driven music is sort of where I originally started to get my passion for music.
Because you're a soul pop fusion artist, right? So obviously that was your foundation for the lady you have become today.
Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate. I love all kinds of music, but I would say that soul and blues has sort of been my biggest inspiration throughout the years.
Would you say, I mean, like, that was your go-to music back in the day when you were leMeow, like now you're fully fledged? Do you still go back to that style of music, to those records, to that groove when you're having your downtime or your chill out time even now?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, to me they're just that, music from that era, it's just classic to me, and it instantly perks me up and brings me back to, those memories, and I'll never get tired of listening to music that I was listening to in my childhood. I always love listening, finding new artists and sort of evolving in that way too. But those classics just remain classic for me, and I'll never get sick of it.
It's ageless, isn't it? I mean, I listen to stuff that I was kind of into in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s, and like if it came on the radio now, it wouldn't sound out of place. Like there was just something. I mean, maybe in 20 years' time, what we're listening to now might not actually be as relevant, but that music was like for all time. It was like, I wonder if those people knew that, 30, 40 years time, that people would still be grooving, and even younger people would be grooving to that vibe. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's such a good question. I don't know, but I mean, I'm certainly grateful for it.
Oh, and it's working well because I've heard your music and you're amazing. So leMeow, doing all this stuff, when did it kind of get to, do you know what, I actually want to do this as a bit of a profession because I'm loving this?
Yeah, I don't remember having that epiphany exactly. I sort of felt like I was always just meant to be a musician, but I guess it was sort of when I was nearing the end of my high school years, I really had an itch to kind of get out into the real world and start getting some professional experience as a musician. So, I mean, up until then, I'd been performing, you know, in school and recitals, and I was part of choirs and doing musical theater and all that kind of good
Yeah.
stuff. But I didn't have the professional background as a musician. So I actually remember going downtown Ottawa, which is where I'm from, and plastering all the telephone poles with signs that I had printed out with, you know, information about myself, saying that I was a singer and I wanted to hook up with a guitar player or some musicians and write some music. And I had put my email address on there and everything. You know, stuff that you would never do
Yes,
today.
kind of dangerous on some level, but carry on.
Yeah. You know, looking back on it, I'm like, was that really the best idea? But it worked out for me because I ended up getting some bites, and I ended up working with this really amazing blues guitarist at the time. And he was a lot more established than I was. So he was able to connect me with, you know, some gigs around the city, and we started playing some festivals and stuff like that. So that's kind of how I got my start as a professional musician, I guess you could say.
Wow, that's amazing. Do you still, I mean, you're working on a solo project now. So is that solo project still with a live band, or are you working with kind of like tracks and studio stuff? How has that progressed to the solo project?
It's always evolving. So before the pandemic, I was performing a lot live with a band, sometimes, you know, 3 to 4 times a week. So I was really active as a live performer. But everything sort of just switched once the pandemic broke out.
Yeah.
So now I guess my focus has turned more to just writing new music and being more in the studio and recording.
Okay.
So that kind of thing. I actually just released a new song called Ghost Heart right before
Yes.
Halloween. So that's the first single that I've put out in a little while now.
Is that the first single as your solo project?
Yeah, I guess you could say it is. Yes.
Oh, congratulations. We are
Thank
going to
you.
be listening to that at the end of the show. So we've got that to come, kids.
Oh, great.
So stay
Thank you.
tuned. But how did it feel? Because I was in a pop group back in the 90s. So I was traveling, I was touring, I was gigging, always with my three best mates. And then when it kind of eventually dispersed, as most bands normally do at some point, people change, or, you know, to keep 4 or 5 people together, fired up on that same vibe is bloody difficult, actually, without, you know, shed loads of money coming in from a record deal. But so how does it feel now? Because for me, going from that, where I was always with my besties, so they knew if I was gonna, you know, muck up a word, they saw this look in my eyes, so they would. Someone always had your back. How do you feel now about being on your own?
Yeah, mixed feelings about that. So initially, I was sort of nervous. I guess you could say I'm still nervous, but it's also exciting because you kind of have the freedom to do whatever you want, right? But you don't have that safety net of being able to bounce ideas off of your bandmates or your partners or whatever you want to, you know, whatever you want to call your fellow musicians. So it's a mixed bag of emotions for me, but it's always kind of like a work in progress. Like, we'll just see where this takes me, and I'm sure it'll evolve into new and different things as I go along. And I always like leaving myself open to collaborations with different musicians. So I think it opens a lot of doors that way too. So I'm excited to work.
No, it's wonderful. And with this day and age, with kind of, you know, social media and stuff like that, there is so much you can do and so many people you can get to. You know,
absolutely.
Things have so changed since the 90s, when I was kind of doing it as a profession, when it was, you know, there was no social media at all. So you wanted someone in the north of England to hear you. You had to drive 8 hours to do a 3-song PA in some dodgy nightclub and hope that everyone there, that they weren't all drunk too much, that they might remember your group's name by the, you know, by the next time they heard you. So whereas now, I've said in an interview before, you know, you can release a track, quickly run for a wee, come back, and you've had a download in Ethiopia. Just like, oh my God, how did that happen?
Yeah, it's so strange. You know, the internet is a wonderful place, but it can also be scary at the same time.
Yeah. The double-edged sword, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So what's going on? So you've just released Ghost Heart. How has that been received?
So far, positive feedback. Yeah, I've been.
I've been watching the lyric videos and singing along, so I love it.
Thank you.
But so
Well,
are
I'll
you
add that
proud
to
with how?
the lovely feedback.
Yes. Yeah. So are you pleased with how it's came out? Are you pleased with your first launch into solo popdom?
I am. Yes. It's always tough because I'm, like I mentioned before, I'm a solo artist now, but also I'm an independent artist. So everything I'm doing is by myself. So promotions on social media, speaking of that, it's all just me. Like I don't have any advertising money or like a record label or anything behind me. So um,
It's
it's
hardcore.
almost more consuming to just try and promote your material than it is, I would say,
Do
to
it.
actually write and record it
Oh,
sometimes.
really? Really? Yeah, I had a bad experience from management back in the day. So I've been kind of just looking after myself. I've been doing it because I love it and whatever happens, happens. But the journey is like the destination for me. I'm enjoying the just being able to do what I love, you know. But I remember a good few years ago when I was kind of like, oh my God, right, I've got to do YouTube and Twitter and Facebook and MySpace and all these things. And I would do a 12-hour shift at work. I would come home, quickly make a sandwich to eat and a cup of tea, and do another 8 hours on just liking, sharing, commenting, just on that was just on YouTube. And then I have to do the same on Twitter. And you've now lost 17 followers on Twitter. I don't know how. So now I've got to try and get them back or some more. And it's like, oh my God, this is such hard work.
It really is.
I
Yeah.
just want to sing and be.
Exactly. Yeah, you're right. You really have to love it. And thankfully I do, and I can tell you do as well. So it's all worth it at the end of the day. And I've been really fortunate because I've got some people in my life who are really supportive of my music. And so it's just nice to have that and to be able to share music with the world and to be able to just, pursue my passion
Do what
and
you love.
have
Absolutely.
it so positively received. It's just a really great feeling.
Yeah. Pursuing your passion is probably the most important thing you could possibly do, actually. So, what's the future hold? What's going on for leMeow?
Well, I've got an idea for a concept album in the back of my mind. So right now I'm trying to apply for some grant money. So I'm crossing my fingers that that might come through, and that would enable me to get back into the studio and do some more recording,
Okay.
which would be ideal for me. But beyond that, I do have live performances on the mind. So I'm trying to think about exactly what I want that to look like and maybe start putting something together for the summer months when it's not so
Great.
cold here in
Okay, so
Canada.
2024 is going to be the launch.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's going to be amazing. So, if you weren't a singer, what would do you have any other passions in life? If you weren't doing music, what else would you have been doing, do you think?
Well, I'm a bit like you in the sense that I'm just an animal lover. So I could see myself working with animals very easily. Like we mentioned before, I've got 3 cats at home here, and they're just such a big part of my life. I find they bring so much joy
Yeah.
into my life. So I don't know. I could see myself doing something with animals for sure, even just on a volunteer basis. It's something that
Great.
I'd be interested in getting more involved in.
That's amazing. And I want to know as well, because I'm a nosy bugger, what would be the most obscure and random music you have on your playlist at the moment?
Obscure. Oh my goodness.
Or something that so would not be James Brown or, some of the, the old school stuff that you are listening. What is like the most you think, oh my God, like I've got some Enya actually, or like what is just the most random music you have on your playlist that kind of don't fit your
Hmm.
normal genre of your listening?
Well, so this it doesn't fall outside of my genre of listening, but I'll just take this opportunity to maybe give a shout out to a fellow musician.
Hmm?
So her name is Bella Cat, and I've actually done some collaborations with her in the past, and
But,
she's someone that I find really inspiring because she started off as a blues artist, and then she went more into sort of like the hip hop genre of things. So, and she does a really nice job of kind of fusing those two genres together. So I'll give a shout out and plug to her and say, if you haven't checked her out yet, you should go and do that.
Okay, and her name is? Again?
Bella Cat.
Bella Cat. Oh,
We're continuing with the cat theme here.
I'm seeing a link. Yeah, absolutely. Well, if you speak to Bella, get her on my show. On Christmas coming up. And is it the time where you put on a Santa's hat and you might be doing like a Christmas song for Christmas, live or unplugged, or?
I don't have anything planned yet, but you're giving me some ideas. Maybe I should.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. Do you ever get compared to any other artists?
I do. I've been compared to Annie Lennox before, which is like a huge compliment to me. So I'll take that any day.
Yeah.
I've heard Lady Gaga before too, which is also like.
There was one photo I saw of you and went, "Oh my gosh, she looks like Lady Gaga."
Oh well, thank you.
Yeah. But then there's another artist you remind me of today, and I can't think of her name. But I'll have to tell you on Twitter or something, because I'm like, oh my gosh, she's so similar, and I want to.
I'm curious to know.
I need to find out now. I need to find out her name. I think, oh my gosh, she looks so similar to her, which, and again, is a compliment. It's not a bad thing. Are your family really supportive of your music?
They really are. Yeah, I'm really fortunate that I have such a great family, and even on social media, my extended family, they're always the first to like and comment all of my updates and stuff like that. So it's really heartwarming to see all that positive energy coming back at me from my family members.
Oh, that's amazing. Do you have a musical family? Was anyone else in your family into music, or?
I do. Yeah. One of my sisters, her name is Kimberly Bourgeois. She's got a music career as well. She has a project called Kimberly in the Dreamtime. She's another one that you should go and check out.
One that needs to be on my show. I'm seeing all these people you're going to be sending to me now.
I've got your next few weeks lined up for you.
Bring it.
And my dad was also a drummer too, back in his heyday in the 60s. So he played with a band called the Brunswick Playboys back in New Brunswick, which is where he's from. So it's all throughout the family. Like
it's in your genes anyway. You couldn't escape it if you wanted to, right?
I really couldn't. Yeah, you're right.
And don't try to, because we love what you're doing. It's absolutely amazing. Where can people find you and find your music?
I'm all over the place. So anywhere you can think of streaming music, so Spotify, iTunes, all that jazz, I'm there. You can find me on Bandcamp, SoundCloud, everywhere. Okay,
so just put leMeow into Google.
Yeah. And usually you can find, I think my handle is usually at leMeow Music for most of my social profiles. So if you just Google that, you should find me plastered all over your Google page.
All right, people at home, you've heard. So I suggest that before the show ends, you do a little bit of a search. You can pause. We don't mind once leMeow has finished talking. But as soon as I come back, just me, you can pause me for a little bit. I've got nothing exciting to say once this interview's over. So quickly go and find leMeow on everything. Follow, share, like, comment, subscribe. I mean, anything you can do to support this young lady, do that. And then you can come back and listen to the end of the show, where you will be hearing Ghost Heart. And you might even get to sing along, because there are lyrics. It's the official lyric video, right?
That's right.
Loving it. Absolutely loving it. Well, leMeow, I want to thank you so much for being part of my show. You're a diamond, and I pray for much success and that you keep living your passion, because that's the most important thing. And will you come back and talk to me when your album's ready and you're all up and running for next summer?
Absolutely. I would love that. And the pleasure is all mine. Thank you so much for having me on your show.
Well, if you ever think of a duet with a short, fat English boy living in Mexico, I can put you in touch.
Okay? I would love that. Thank you so much.
I do pop fusion, but mine's kind of fused with everything.
That's my style too.
Yeah.
I'll never say no to any of that.
I will always just be Jaden, whatever I sing. So yeah, okay, right. 2024 kids at home, there might be a leMeow and Jaden collab. How amazing. Well, lovely. Thank you so much. And we'll speak to you again soon.
Sounds great. Take care.
Take care, honey. Have a great new week. Bye-bye.
Bye now.
Bye. Isn't she bloody lovely? See, I only introduce you to the best people on this show. Every Sunday is filled with glamour, sophistication, talent, and passion. And it's all here on this little screen. Thanks to the Jaden Show. Bloody amazing. Please make sure you've subscribed. Please make sure you have hit the tinkly bell, and please leave a comment and like. It will be really great to hear from you. Now, also, when you've done that, pop over onto your social media and go and find leMeow on any possible social media platform you can find her on. Go and download her music on Spotify, Apple, Deezer, and all the major download and streaming sites. And get ready, because in 7 days' time, there is another fantabulous person on the Jaden Show. Yes, I'm bringing you someone else next Sunday. It's just amazing. I know, I'm amazing. But hey, it's all about them and you. Listen, you take very good care. Thank you so much for joining me again today. I'm going to leave you with leMeow's Halloween release. It's called Ghost Heart. It's a really, really super great track, and it's a lyric video, so you can sing along with it. Maybe one day I should bring out a karaoke video as well, and then you can do your own versions and send it to her so she can see how her supporters love that song. I'm going to go now because it's Sunday. I've got lots to do to get ready for the next week to bring you someone else incredible as well. You take care. Have a wonderful new week. I'll see you soon on the Jaden Show. Stay beautiful. Bye-bye.
I got this ghost